And I would quickly introduce, Professor Sadagopan and Professor Hara or the conference chairs, and we have Tathagat, who is the program committee chair for this event. And we have I would quickly introduce, Professor Sadagopan and Professor Hara or the conference chairs, and we have Tathagat, who is For now, Kotresh, can we pause that streaming?
Yes, Professor. Yes, sir, I'll do it.
Yeah, it's going to repeat our thing again. So,
sir, you can mute the mic. I mean, the speaker.
Yes.
Yeah, from YouTube.
Sure, I would do that.
Yes.
But I didn't actually open it, first of all. I didn't do anything.
No, sir. It is someone who is streaming, I guess.
Okay. Somebody else is streaming. Yeah.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I have kept it on in my browser, so maybe I was giving the feedback.
Okay.
I have gone on mute on that one now. Sorry about that.
Okay. Thanks. And Professor, we have everybody with the videos on. Now we have Shubha and Soumya, and most of the committee members will be aware. They have been part of the team all the time. I would say from the very first event when it was conducted on campus, and last year when it was done. We have Soumya and Shubha, and we also have doctoral students Divya, Rahul, and Manisha. They are newer students, and they have also agreed to be a part of this team. And Sangamesh and Kotresh have always helped us. In fact, even when it was the in-person event, Sangamesh has been the person leading the UC team, and Kotresh has been on board from last year, and he played a key part in the OLF thing. And we also have Nanjunda, who has also joined this team. So welcome everybody to the team. And so thanks for joining. And so to give an introduction of what we want to accomplish in this, we wanted to have everybody conversant with the arrangement. First of all, it is a Zoom call with live streaming, and the responsibilities broadly are going to be divided into the back-end operations, which would be by the OLFs. So when we say OLFs, it is going to be Kotresh, Nanjunda, and Sanjaya. Sanjaya, welcome. And they would be manning the Zoom call in terms of starting it, having the control, and making the permissions, all the permissions for the speakers and the people who are going to ask questions, which is going to be done by them based on the conversation that they would be having with the masters, the people who are going to be chairs for the individual events. And introductions and advising the OLFs on who needs to be enabled for speaking, for being able to turn on the videos, will be given by the team, Soumya, Shubha, and also Divya, Manisha, and Rahul. So broadly, the responsibilities are backend operations, which is going to be taking control of the Zoom and the live streaming, and Kotresh team are trained for that. And any doubts, they can take Sangamesh's help for getting that done. And in terms of introducing the session for the days, it is going to be the job of the masters. And this being the broad responsibility division, the teams are going to work on 3 days. On the day one, it is going to be pre-conference workshops, and we would need only one team to be available, which is going to be the OLF team, because we don't need any person to chair the individual events. And so Kotresh team will be available on Thursday, which is 20th, to take care of the operations, because the workshops themselves would be led by the people who conduct the workshops, and we don't need any more people. And on the day one and day two, the Thursday becomes day 0. Day 1 and day 2 become the main event, with 2 tracks running in parallel: academic event and industry track, which is going to be very similar. to what we did last year. So for Potresh and for Soumya and Shubha, it is not going to be any different. And there we are going to have the individual chairs taking control of the streams. And apart from Soumya and Shubha and the team who are going to take care of, so we will decide on who is going to take care of what. We are going to also have moderators for the individual panel discussions wherever it matters. For most part of the event, it is going to be individual speakers, be it the introductory speech or the keynotes or the special addresses. It is going to be the individual speakers who will be introduced by the chairs. But if it is going to be a fireside chat, there is going to be a moderator who you will give control to and then take it back once they are able to conclude the discussions. And for the academic track and for the presentations like the student showcase or the excellence awards, there are going to be session chairs. And their job is different in the sense that they are going to introduce the people who are going to speak, and they are going to also evaluate how the discussion goes, because at the end of the 2-day summit, we are also going to announce the winners for each stream. So the roles are going to be predominantly the masters with moderators for the panel discussions and the session chairs for the academic track, student showcase, and also for the excellence awards. So these are broadly the roles for the 3-day event. I would pause here in case of any questions. Let me answer.
So in terms of MC, or you're going to talk about that, Venkatesh, now, or like will it be the front end team which will also do the MC in terms of handover, invite the next speaker, do a short introduction, and then go on to the next one?
Which will be Soumya, Shubha, and the team.
Okay. So my question to Soumya, Shubha, and team was that, do you have the entire details that you need in order to do that? That's number one. Number two, are we going to also have some kind of a PowerPoint so that we can have one slide and then it just in a very consistent manner, it has the picture, the headshot of the person, of the speaker with a intro, because we have collected everything, all the details are available. So I think it will be good when you are talking, if you are able to use that, and then we go to the is that the plan?
So actually, sir, I think Venkatesh had just mailed a few minutes back about like 30 slides or something about the speaker and their profile. If am I right, Venkatesh?
Exactly.
You have
exactly.
that ready,
So,
right?
Yeah, Pawan has already sent it. Last year, probably you made that from the brochure. And
Right.
Pawan has made the job simpler. So he has shared those slide that you exactly described, Tagat. So we could use that for creating the brochure and also for Soumya, Shubha, and team to introduce.
Right. So I think those slides are in place, Professor.
Yeah. So Soumya, what you can do is later on, not right now on this call, once you have the entire thing, and even with any gaps in that, please send to Pawan and me, and copy to Radhika also, because then it is our job to make sure that we give it to you, and please keep us honest on that, like, hey, this is not there and we absolutely need to do that. In our understanding, almost all except the GIS panel, where we are still looking at the final set of things, all details should be available to you, but if it is not there, please let us know.
Right, Soumya. Sure. Except for the GIS profiles, everyone else are in place. But please be in touch with me, for me and Tathagata, of course, Radhika, all three of us, for any of the confusion or any mistakes or anything. Yeah. And brochure also, I mean, the Word document, right? I mean, I had created. Maybe I'll share that probably today.
Sure. No.
We already have one draft of the brochure shared with our communications for the creative work.
That's the same thing, sir.
Pawan, on if there are any updates already, we would share the latest version.
That's the same one I created earlier. Now what I'll do is I'll update with the latest set of profiles.
Sure.
And then I'll share it back.
Okay. And at this point, I think it is appropriate for us to have an understanding of where we are going to keep the documents. There are two ways of doing it. One is we keep it in the Google Drive that the committee currently is using. Can we continue to do that so there are no version mismatches?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We keep a single home for everything, including all the documents, collaterals, videos, everything,
Yeah.
so that we don't have multiple versions.
Okay. So while we are on the topic, let me share my screen and show. I don't necessarily share the link, but I will show where they are, how they are organized. So we can have everybody having access to that. And the reason for having access to that is in case the speakers themselves don't bring the PPT, or they have some technical problem in being able to share it, you will be in a position to present it. Either the OLF or the session chair can do that. Let me share my screen.
Venkatesh,
Yes.
just one quick question.
Yeah.
So if I understood right, Dr. Shubha, Soumya, Manisha, Rahul and Divya, they are either masters of the ceremony or session chairs. And Sangamesh, Kotresh are the OLFs, right? Now, do we have the session allocation who is handling which session, or that's going to follow later?
That's going to follow later. So as of now, we don't have an allocation. And I just heard from Divya that she has some constraints on 22nd. So we would work it out accordingly. So to answer your question, sir, that is yet to be allocated.
Okay.
We would include that also in the folder.
Right. Now, so what it means is, Pawan and Tathagat, considering you are going to be there all through,
Yes.
let's make sure once those are allocated, they have the specific details about the person, etc. So that, instead of everybody knowing everything anyway today we cover, but individually have they rehearsed it and do they know the details, and those we just need to confirm. So between the 5 of them, they would have 3 or 4 each maximum. And particularly if there are session chairs for the academic track, we need Dr. Lakshmi to coordinate like you're doing for the industry track, particularly in terms of the criteria for ratings, etc., because both the papers as well as the student presentations are going to be evaluated and announced in the session itself. So the session chair should be on top of it. Those are the specific activities as far as the masters and session chairs are concerned. Right, Venkatesh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so no, I agree. It will be helpful actually if you can, if the volunteer team can come and tell us who will be the primary and who will be the secondary each of the panels, and maybe we can do it this way that we can say, of course, workshop is a lighter weight because it's only one single thing that will run for 90 to 120 minutes. But on the day 1 and day 2, maybe we can, and I'm just suggesting maybe there is a better way for everyone to think of. There are 4 main sessions, right? Day 1 first half, day 1 second half, and half I'm saying pre-lunch and post-lunch. So maybe there is a primary and a secondary. So because in a pool otherwise we don't know who's really going to be the primary and the secondary, and then that way it will be easier for us also to coordinate with each other. That hey, okay, you are like Shubha is primary on day 1 first half, and maybe Divya is primary on day 1 second half, for example. So then it makes it easier rather than everybody, and there is a diffusion of responsibility after that. Does it make sense?
Yes. And we will make it visible to everyone. Once we have the Google Drive access given to everyone, we will have one sheet which will have this detail also made available to all.
Correct. And Tathagat, day 0, none of the masters or session chairs will be available because we are directly dealing each one of us who are doing the workshops. And only between Sangamesh and Kotresh, they will be the OLF working with us because there is no session moderation, etc.
Got it.
And all that what we need to do is wherever there is a panel discussion, we should connect the panel moderator with our MC as well. Like for example, Abhijit is moderating a panel, and let us say Dr. Manisha is handling that. So between Manisha and our Abhijit, they should sync up who is going to open, who is going to say what, so that there is no confusion. But day 0, there is no session chairs or masters, right, Venkatesh?
Day 0, there is no session chair needed because it will be directly taken care of by.
So
people who are conducting the workshops.
two or three more things. One is just wanted to check because we have got two videos, one from Franco, one from Devjani. Also yesterday we got it. I was just wondering, since Radhika has been little out of pocket, I just wanted to check, Venkatesh, is there a place where you want us to load it? Because then it will be, I'm assuming it will be the OLF team that will also take care of queuing up the videos.
Yes, so that is what I was thinking. I would just share my screen for a minute.
Yeah.
And say that currently what we have done is we have put the academic presentations that have come. So likewise, if you are going to have some of them as recorded speech, we could put it in a similar fashion,
Yeah.
and tagging them as what is the timing, or if there is any other indication available. Shall I share my screen, Tatagar?
Yeah, please do that. Yeah. And on that note, Venkatesh, we are working on getting all the presentation deck for the 6 speakers as well on the industry side. So I think we already got 2 or 3. We will upload that also.
Sure.
And then while you are presenting it to the front end team, that is Soumya, Shubha, Manisha, and everyone. See, one of the things that, and maybe I can share after that my screen just to share the high level thing. See, everything except the portion of industry track, we start with the plenary, then we split in between, and then we again come back and join the plenary. So I think it will be helpful for you to also be aware of what are the 4 points and when do we kind of come back, because we will have to advise the listeners on the academic track to then come back and join the main one, because I'm assuming there'll be only 2 Zoom links throughout the day.
Yes. And we would give those instructions in writing when we send the links. And we can also make that announcement when the session starts.
Yeah.
And Soumya has done that in the past. Soumya and Shubha have done in the past. So we could give those instructions.
Great.
Venkatesh.
Yes, Professor.
So my only request is, because you have a well-oiled machinery, because you have been doing it for 3 years now. So my request is just to follow things which have worked, so we don't have to do any reinventing at this stage.
Exactly,
Okay?
Professor.
So I think ensure that sometimes it is easy to replicate well-oiled things rather than. Okay, so
exactly,
that is my take. Yeah.
Yes. So
and
far,
the second
whatever
thing is,
we have.
Yeah. See,
So
not
far,
everyone has to know everything, but I use the term again of the owner. No, so at every session there is a owner, okay, and who he or she would actually be able to be in complete control, and we should ask the owner, are they comfortable? So we stop there. No, otherwise we don't have to micro into that. But there should be no session where there is not clearly defined ownership. That is all I would want to say. Thank you.
Yes, Professor. So far, the plan has been exactly following what we did last year. But for one subtle difference, which we would come to later, which is on the Zoom call model itself. But for the most part, it is following the last year's model.
Thank you.
So if the screen is visible, so I would be conversant with the academic track. I would just open that and show. So this is going to be the folder, and we are going to have academic track schedules inside the folder. And we also have the status of who has already shared the presentation and who has registered and things like this. Is more for tracking ahead of the event. And on the day of the event, this is not of big relevance, but we are going to keep it till the time we are having all those registrations and presentations coming in. So what is of importance is it's hanging a little. 1 second. Sorry about that, it was hanging. So what is of importance is the way the presentations that we have received are organized. And currently, the available presentations have been termed as research paper 1, research paper 2, research paper 3, and this is the same that we are going to see in the program agenda. So in case we want to open, so can we decide that opening the presentation will be done by the OLFs? So Kotresh, are you okay with that? I'm going to share the link with all of you. So
Yes.
we will all have link. Shubha and team also will have the link, but we'll say that the responsibility to open the presentation in case the presenter himself has some technical problem will be with OLF. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in each session, if you have an MC and a backup, the backup would definitely have some additional responsibility, and that comes by way of handling which questions to be allowed to be asked. So when the MC is busy, introducing the persons and then moderating the discussions and all that, and also preparing notes for how to give the compliments at the end of the presentation, we also need to take note of people who are going to send in the questions, and the questions are going to come like this. The chat window will be available for all the participants, and they would be sending in the questions. And if the backup is able to monitor those questions and select a few, depending upon the time available, usually we will have about 5 to 10 minutes of time available. And during that time, which questions to ask, depending upon when they came and how relevant it is, and looking at the duplicates also. If that is done, that will be helpful for the MC, because the MC can then concentrate on preparing the notes and things like. So what you do is you check out that so-and-so, 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 these three people need to be asked to be ask the questions. And the OLF, you can ping the OLF privately on the chat window, open these persons in this sequence. So OLF can do that. They are all well trained to do that kind of a thing, because they have been doing this when the classes are happening. So if that is fine, I think it is more of a question for Manisha and team. Manisha, Divya. So is that a good model? And of course, Soumya and Subha also could be doing that. But it would help, since now we have this. So unless you want to divide the responsibilities, otherwise, this would be one good responsibility for the backup.
Yes, Venkatesh. Actually, we had planned the same. That's what we were thinking, that me and Shubha will be managing the front part, like MC as such, and Rahul, Manisha, and Divya can be the backup. Back in whatever the chat and managing the questions. Those works could be done by that. But that's what, as we just mentioned a few minutes back, that we have not yet finalized on the roles and responsibilities and the sessions that we'll have to handle it. We'll have a separate call with you on that, and we will discuss that in detail.
Sure.
Maybe today evening or so, we'll check on the availability, and we can have a separate call on that, and we'll discuss in detail as to what the role of each and every one of us would be.
Sure.
Okay.
Can I share my screen for a few minutes and walk you everyone through the high level?
Yes, please.
It's disabled, Venkatesh, so you'll have to help me maybe become a co-host.
So this is the real dry run. So Kotresh.
Yes, sir. I'll do it, sir.
Yeah, I think we will have to just
Yes,
do
sir.
that.
Done, sir.
Also,
Hara sir is looking like a statue.
Okay, I can do it. Please let me know that you are able to see this.
Not yet.
Okay, is the screen
yes.
coming up? Yeah, okay. So this file also, Venkatesh, we'll check with Radhika where it is hosted, but maybe we'll also share it, and it's in the single place, because all the tabs, as you will see, they are like we have been using it to basically keep track of it. So the finalized speakers, all their phone numbers, email IDs, everything is there. So Soumya, Shubha, Manisha and team, you also know that this is where you can pick up all the details from, just to for everybody's benefit, so that we are on the same page. Day 0 is what we are calling as Thursday. So we start at 9 o'clock. This is the first workshop that we are talking about, which is done by Hara. It goes from 9 till roughly, let us say 11, and then we break off for coffee. So there's a coffee break happening, and then the second workshop starts at 11:15, goes on till lunch break 1 o'clock. That's by Muthu and Abhijit. Abhijit is a part of the volunteer team itself, so it will be easier to coordinate if there is any need to do that. And then afternoon, 2 to 4 is my workshop on AI first. So that is the plan. And so you have all the three people from the committee and the team itself for any kind of a coordination. But as Hara was telling, we don't really need, maybe we just need a one slider introduction with the initial part, and then the facilitators take over. And then once it is done, then we kind of wrap up the day 0. Day 1 we have academic track and industry track, and the same format is for day 2 as well. If you see that the first about 1 hour or 1.5 hour is plenary, so we have both in a single track, so we don't need to open up the academic track link at that time. I don't know, Venkatesh, if I'm doing it wrong, please correct me on that part. But the academic track really starts at 10:30 and then goes on till about goes on till about noon. Then we have a plenary, and then we again open it up for the student showcase. So that is the plan. But rest of it, I think the same link can continue for the industry track, and then whenever people come back to the plenary, they can use the same one. So that is the plan here. And then
Yes,
first day,
one small piece that
Yeah.
I would remind you. So the main track is going to be industry track. That means
Yeah.
all the plenaries would happen in the industry track, plus any other individual lectures or whatever. And the academic track people are the ones who would come and join the plenary. So we will give the links accordingly.
Yeah. And then we wrap up the day 1 by about 6:15, where Lakshmi and I will basically do a day 1 wrap up here. And on the day 2, we again come back and start with 9 o'clock, the same time. But we hope to be able to wrap up by 4:15 on that day. Now here, as you will see, some are live talks, like Professor Hargopal will do a live, or Professor Sadgopan will talk live there. But for example, Hans Bern video is there. We already have it. It's a short video. Professor Rishikesh will talk live. That's my understanding. Then Girish Matrubhutam is a this one we have to actually do, Venkatesh, a little bit of a thing, because we are hoping to get his video, and we have to actually interweave that with Professor Sadgopan's Q&A fireside chat. So this might require a slight amount of coordination. Once we get the video, then we will be in a position to do that. So that I will park it for now. I will probably look up to Professor Sadgopan also for any advice if he has any thoughts on that. But just to complete on that, this Hans Bern will be the video. We already have this video available now, and remaining ones are all live sessions. And then on the day 2, we have Debjani's video is available. Once you tell me the location, I'll upload the video there. And Franco is a presentation again. That other than that, it's all live here. So I'll just pause here. I thought I'll just give a lay of the land so that everyone has a high level picture, and we'll share this this Google Sheet with everyone. Please don't make any changes to it, because this is, like, as you all know, it's a real-time live file. But if there is anything, you can let Pawan, Radhika or me know about it. I'll just pause here. Is it clear to everyone, or any questions or anything that is not clear?
So Sagar, can I ask?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first, you see, we had done 2 convocations live. So what we have done is something like this. We practically had everything recorded.
Yeah.
Okay. And a few things we just decided in the last minute to make it live. Okay. But it actually needs the IT folks to be clear about this. Okay. So because somebody has to call the shot. Okay.
Yeah.
So let the MC and the team kind of decide. As far as Girish is concerned, the way I'm thinking is, I will ask the questions live, and we will play Girish answers from a recorded one.
Yes, sir.
This needs definitely coordination from the back end. If they feel it is too much, then what I can do is I can record my questions also, and then you kind of combine the questions and the answers, and we play simply one video. So I am open, but we have to take a call, and Monday morning I should know, so that
Yeah.
So what I suggest, Professor, is
Yeah.
since there are only 3 questions,
Yes.
backend our OLF, Mr. Kotresh, we just need to tell him video 1, video 2, video 3 in terms of the video which we are getting from Girish. So as soon as you put the first question, he will play that, and then the second one. My
Okay.
personal suggestion is don't record yours, because
Okay.
you can actually respond to his answers, and you
Yeah.
can actually
Sure.
that we don't want to take away.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So I am fine, but I want
Kotresh,
the
you are okay with
backend
that,
team
right?
to be ready. Yeah. They
Yes,
should tell
Professor.
me they are comfortable. Yeah. As long as they are comfortable, I am fine.
Kotesh, you are fine, right?
Yes, sir. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Thank you. I think it
Thank
will
you, sir.
make it much more lively. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
just
I am done, Tathagat. Yeah.
okay,
You
sir.
can
Thank you,
talk
sir.
further.
Yeah, just 2 more questions I had. Just want to check so that since I have not been involved in that one, which is on the Excellence Award. We have been getting the videos, but I'm just trying to understand who is going to be the MC, and then what information do they need additionally on that one. So that's the first one. And second is, I believe on the Excellence Award, Hans Bernd is going to do the presentation, right? So the presentation deck, etc., is being done by him. Okay.
So it's like this. There are 2 sessions, Tathagat, as far as the Excellence Awards are concerned, right? One is the best practices session, wherein all the 7 finalists are presenting with video recording, and then there is a live Q&A. And the award giveaway part of it is where Hans Bernd is going to do the citation, and then afterwards the award will be given. And we just need to remove the IT minister reference in the schedule, because now that part is not there, but that is the model. So all the 7, Venkatesh, please confirm that we got recorded once from the awardees or the finalists.
That's what my expectation is, and I would check with Radhika, double check, and confirm that we have all the 7 presentations.
Okay. Now, my suggestion is, if somebody does not send the recording, we will not play in the finalist. Okay, because we won't be able to moderate, because some people take 30 minutes, 40 minutes in their excitement. So only the ones which we get recorded, Venkatesh, we will play like in the past. And but anyway, the citation is for all 7 in terms of the winners. So it doesn't matter even if they have not presented in the best practices session. Right, Venkatesh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. And along with the excellence awards that are going to be announced, academic papers also were recognized last year. And this year, Professor Lakshmi being the chair, she could talk a few lines and give out the awards. And that would include the student showcase also.
Yeah. But only thing is that, the trophy will not be ready for the academic paper awards, because these are the ones which excellence awards, the trophies are getting ready, and they are anyway getting shipped. So we may have a visual of that.
Yeah.
But for the academic and student papers, it is only an announcement, and there won't be any visual for that. I hope
There
that
would
is
not
okay.
be any visual. Last year also it was a slide which would be shown, and there would be no trophies per se.
Yeah. Okay.
And now, if we are done with this discussion, I would like to tell about how the Zoom call itself is going to work, and also Kotresh can demonstrate how the live streaming is going to happen and what would be visible on the screen. So first of all, on the Zoom call, we made one decision. Maybe we can comment on if this is having any other issues. Last year, we chose on webinar, the Zoom webinar. And that was for a reason that, earlier IMB as an institute did not have any webinar license. It was only the Zoom calls. And there have been a couple of cases of some unwanted participant coming in and doing some unwanted things. And to circumvent that, the Zoom webinar was chosen. And that has its own drawbacks. The Zoom webinar doesn't have a waiting room. So that means what, when the sessions are open 1 hour in advance or 45 minutes in advance, and professors come in and then some delegates come in, and there are some sidebar conversations that take place, which is inevitable. But in a webinar, all the participants, they would not be visible on the screen, but they would be listening to that, which again becomes slightly not, desirable. So we thought of what are the advantages and disadvantages, and then finally decided that Zoom meeting is itself good enough. Now that the Zoom meeting can actually accommodate 200, 300 people, the licenses that we have. The only thing that we need to be worried about is how we are going to control the access, because by default it should be everybody being muted, both for audio and video. And the OLFs will have the list of who is the active speaker, who is the master of ceremony, who is the person who is backing it up, and only those people would be allowed the access to speak and also to turn on the video. If that control can be done well, then Zoom meeting is a better option, because the Zoom webinar has other technical issues. That is, if you have to make somebody have control of its own, you should promote him as a panelist, and then you should promote him as a co-host. Only then he will have access to everything. And then there are confusions as to when somebody uses a chat window to write some question, then the question becomes available. There are two categories. One is whether only the panelists get the questions or everybody gets the question. And now
Venkatesh sir, sorry for interrupt.
Yes.
I follow a simple rule.
Yeah.
1 week before any conference, okay? So we anoint somebody as the absolute dictator. And you are the dictator.
Okay.
So my feeling is, I don't think we have time for deliberations and views, etc.
Okay.
My feeling is you take the call and we all fall in line. Because otherwise, it will go nowhere. Okay, sure. Hara, I don't know, do you agree with me? This is what I have been following for all the conferences.
No, I was about to say that, Venkatesh, please take a call. As the professor said, one is that go by past practice. And here, your OLFs are very comfortable controlling classes above 75, etc. in the Zoom meeting mode. And, just take the call and go ahead.
Thanks for that, because I was a little nervous, because it's a big change we are doing. And there has been past records of why we went to webinar. So, okay, now that you have given the clearance, so it is Zoom meeting.
Absolutely.
And now that we have quotation, everybody aligned, I think we can manage that. And by default, everybody will be muted. And the way it is going to work is people writing questions will be monitored by the MCs and the backups. And OLFs will be instructed privately on who needs to be allowed for unmute. And
in fact, your OLFs are very comfortable muting, bumping off, or even taking off the video. Even if somebody holds a poster, they're absolutely, they're proficient. So no more discussion. Just go ahead with
that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Kotesh, now may I request you to show some screen sharing, and tell how the video is going to look at the YouTube streaming, and what details will be available below that. So we are all continuing. Yes.
Sir, and how about recording, sir? Recording need to be done in cloud, or?
Recording needs to be done on cloud. So we get all versions. Yes, you are right. That is a very relevant question. Recording needs to be done on cloud. The difference is, if you do it on cloud, we can have the several versions of the gallery view, the speaker view, or all that. So it is cloud.
Yes, sir.
This is the
version. Just one interrupt, Tathagat. I hope we have communicated to all speakers a priori that it will be recorded, right? That is very important. If you have not already communicated, we need to tell them, because we don't want them suddenly in the event objecting and say, no, you're not going to record what I'm saying. Okay, that is one.
Yes.
Second, Kotesh, we
Yes, sir.
said that students' session,
Yes, sir.
because they do not know, sometimes they don't use the discretion what to tell, what not to tell about the company. We
Yes, sir.
agreed that we will not record and we will not stream, only the student showcase part. So whoever is monitoring that, kindly note that we are not recording and we are not streaming.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Hara, I will take action on that one. I don't think we have communicated explicitly, but I will make it explicit in a communication today to them.
Yeah. In that, the normal policy is that we record everything, but we seek a separate permission with all the speakers before we sharing archives, if there is anybody to download, etc. But in this case, since we are streaming, that is out. But I think getting a blanket permission that it is all going to be recorded and it is there on streaming is good enough for us to really get any, because now in the new model we don't have any Chatham rules, etc. with online conferences. So we need to be careful to get their compliance, preferably in a mail, just to be safe side. That's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
At least we confirm from our side. Yeah.
Yes.
Venkatesh.
Yes, Kotresh, may I request you to share your screen and
Yes, sir.
show how the video streaming is going to be appearing on everybody's screen.
So the meetings which are already scheduled here. So this is the meeting which is scheduled in service desk 1. So we have a meeting scheduled from 8:45 to 5:45 on Thursday. This is related to workshop, whereas we have a meeting scheduled on Friday and Saturday as well. So this is completely academic track. So in order to stream this video in the YouTube, what we are supposed to do is, say I'll create a meeting now. So this is a meeting I'm going to create. I'm going to create this meeting at 12:30. Let it be. So I created a meeting now, and I'll show you how to stream this meeting in your YouTube. So what we have to do is we have to click on the meeting. So then once you scroll it down, it'll ask for live streaming here. It'll ask for live streaming. So once you click on that live streaming, it'll ask for the you have to go for configure custom streaming service. Once you go there, it'll ask for streaming URL, streaming key, as well as live streaming page. So in order to get this, what we have to do is we have to go for so I have to schedule stream here. So this is scheduled in CSITM 1 IMB. So we have two Gmail accounts. One is CSITM 1 IMB. So this is related to academic track. One more is CSITM 2 IMB, that is industrial track. So I'm going to schedule it here. So once you schedule here, go for create new. So you are supposed to give the title. I'll give it as trial now. Once you go for go down, it'll ask you are doing it for kids or you're doing it for adults. So no, it's not made for kids, and we are not creating any of the age restrictions here. Go next. Once you go next, it'll ask for live chat. So anyhow, we are disabling the live chat. So like no one is able to chat through YouTube. They can chat only in the Zoom meeting. No one is able to chat in the YouTube. So I'm going to disable that. Once I disable this, again I'll go for next. Then it will ask privacy. So it is for public, everyone we are giving the privacy, and that is scheduled at 12:30. Let me check. Yeah, that is scheduled for 12:30. So what I'll do is I'll give 12:30 here. Done. Once you do this, it will give you the streaming key. So it will show you the streaming key and streaming URL. So what we have to do is we have to copy the streaming URL and we have to paste it here. There is a live streaming here. Go there, click on configure live streaming. So it will ask for streaming URL, paste it there, and it will ask for stream key. So the stream key is also available here. So this is
So
a stream
this
key.
the streaming URL along with the Zoom information will be sending in the registration mail, because that is a BCP for in case Zoom doesn't work or something, then they
Yes,
can
yes,
back to that,
yes.
right?
We will
So that
send
will
both.
we will be
Tathagat.
here. Okay, great.
So I'll paste a streaming key as well as, and it will ask for live streaming page. So this is where it is streamed. So for that, we'll get here. Once you go for share, you'll get a video link. Copy that link and paste it here. Once it is done, save. And this is a link we are going to give it to the participant. Whatever the link at the third we have. So this is the link we are going to give to the participant. So
For a trial, Kotresh, can you share the link in the chat window so we are all able to use that?
yes, sir.
And one question, maybe silly question, Kotresh, all that you have shown, only you are doing. None of us are doing it, right?
No, sir.
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
doing. Only OLF team is doing.
It is
Okay,
OLF
thank
training
you.
combined.
Thank you. That's very comforting.
But again, Venkatesh sir, I have to start the meeting, the other meeting, in order to go for live streaming.
And also to Hara's question, Kotresh, this is all offline one-time job that you will finish 3 days before the
Yes, sir. It
event.
is already done. If you
Right,
see
yeah,
here,
yeah. All we have to
that
do that day is just go live and that's it, right? You
That's
will
it,
do
sir.
that also, you will do, correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So it is already done. We can see this is for workshop, sir. This is for
Right.
academic track day 1. This is for academic track day 2. It is already created. We have to go live. That's it on that day.
Thanks.
So this is one which is going live now, like trial dry run. This is one which is going live. And Venkatesh sir, in order to show this, I have to start the other meetings.
No, you don't have to. Yeah, whatever that you are showing, whatever that we are now working on, the
Yes, sir.
call that we are in, can we stream that or?
It
Yes,
is
sir.
already
Now it is
streaming.
already streaming, sir.
That
It is already streaming.
Yes,
Yes,
it is
yes.
already streaming, and in the screening and in that Kotresh, please show like we used to do last year, 0
Yes, sir.
minutes to 30
Yes.
minutes session
Yes, sir.
one,
Yes.
so that you can show so people get a view of what is.
Yes,
So
Kotresh.
now
So here you can do it on the same thing.
Yeah, I'll open the meeting which is streaming now. So this is a meeting which is streaming now. So I'll go for edit video. Once you go for edit video, it'll ask for description. So this is where we have to give the description. So whatever the description we are giving here, that will appear in live stream.
Yeah, this was one of the questions Professor Sadagopan had on if somebody wants to look at the video later, he should know where to look for a specific session, and this
Yes.
will be available.
So whatever I'm giving now, so this will like description, it will change in the YouTube or wherever it is streaming. So I'll try to give so after giving that, once you go for save, that is going to save now. You can see
Copy that
Alright.
link and paste it in a different tab.
Yeah. Or else we can edit here also. I'll do it here itself. No, sir, it's not opening. I'll copy this. So that is like you can see here, whatever I edited. So that came here.
Maybe put one more line so people
Yes.
are able to visualize.
You can go for edit again.
Here again, Venkatesh and Kotrish, what
Yes.
Professor Sarigopan said, just use it as it was last year. Last year, it was very convenient. I tried out the YouTube links, and that was much easier than even our webinar link, what you talked about in Zoom. So unless there is any specific change, we are all comfortable if you're following with the old one.
Sure, sir.
Sure. I think then we will follow the same pattern as last year.
Okay. Venkatesh,
Yes, Professor.
Hara and the team. Okay, I have to leave now at 11:55 because I have something for the next 12 o'clock. Okay, and I think I think the volunteers are in place, and this is something which you have done it for last year so well. And of course, there are so many IAMB events that are happening. Okay, so my own suggestion is that please continue, and in case you need anything, we will catch up in the evening call. And all the best. And once again, personally, as the conference chair, thank all the volunteers. I do hope sometime we will get to meet with you and have a cup of coffee together sometime, definitely post-conference. And thank you all, and I am logging off. Okay, Hara, is that okay?
Yes, we'll take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And I edited now. So whatever I edited now, that again came in the description. So
Perfect.
so that is this meeting is being streamed now. So that's why we're able to see that in streaming now.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks, Kote. I think it should, I think it's a comforting thing that you have gone through the whole path and we are able to see how it works.
What next, Venkatesh?
So this is what we had in agenda, and definitely some final details need to be worked out. And that Soumya, Shubha.
Venkatesh sir, and we need a slide. One slide to show like whenever we are breaking.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Excellent point, Karpatrash. In fact, we would use the similar slide that we did last year with the new links. And that is one. And we also need to have an invocation video, which we can use probably what we did last year.
Yes,
Lamp lighting, electronic.
Yes, sir. I have that invocation video as well.
I think.
Yeah, just one question, Venkatesh and Kotrish. Do you how easy it is to get your background? Like, for example, I'm sitting in a common place, so it may not be good for our conference part, so you had a standard background screen with the logos, etc., for all the speakers.
Yes, sir.
We are going to send it as part of the panelist or speaker kit. And second, if any of this,
can you turn off your video streaming?
Yes, sir. I'll do it.
So like our green screen, whatever is the standard screen,